Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Rap Palette with Rap Palette Lyric Breakdown. Now, I'm going to have a couple of these going, but since this is such a serious topic, I'm going to get straight into this. We're going to break down the lyrics to Money Over Fallouts. And I had to use Genius because they do a perfect way of just laying out everything. So y'all people watch my screen as we're going out. Now, mind you, I'm not going to go through the media montage because these are just what everybody that was saying. And I think he perfectly well did this. And you know what I mean? You know where the interlude right here says, oh, I'm done with this. You got to know the truth. Now, let's go to the first bar. He goes and says, hey, they'd rather see me in a cell like how they post me out with a $30,000 bail. His bail was actually $35,000 for the Los Angeles county. You know, it was $35,000, and mind you, he was only charged with possession of a concealed weapon. He was not charged with no shootings or anything like that. You know what I mean? And I know y'all might say, oh, she didn't say anything. Here's the thing about police, if anybody ever been arrested. One thing, if you've been shot, and if they match the bullet, if you've been shot, and the person's there with a gun, and the bullet in your foot is matched that, his charges would have been upgraded. Just to put that point out to you, okay? Now, next bar, he goes and says, I'm the GOAT. Y'all ends know I made that dope float on the scale. I had them hoes going crazy, things cracking, going pale. They know I'm real. I got that flow. It's on sale if you need a rush. This seemed like this was just a metaphor. You know what I'm trying to say? And saying that he just makes a reference in that he's hot. And, you know what I mean, whenever his name is mentioned, he's, you know what I mean, he's the talk of the town. You know what I mean, everything. Now, here's the next bar. Coke blowing out my friends know like the speaker bus. That's a hard bar. That's a hard bar. Next one, he says, Ho caught me deed up. Talk down, we ting up, making people trying to frame me for a shooting. Now this is where it starts to get, where he starts to explain something. Now, for a lot of y'all don't know, he made references. So when a man says hoe, he's not really technically calling a hoe. That's just a language in most ghetto dudes say for accents, they call their own girlfriend, oh, that's my hoe. So when he said the hoe got me deed up, you feel what I'm saying? Deed up meaning that caught up. You feel what I'm trying to say? He's caught up in a situation. Talk down. We ting up. Ting is also is a Canadian plus a London type thing. Ting is a multi-language use word, you know what I mean? They could talk about women, cars, and money. You know what I'm saying? And he says, making people trying to frame me for a shooting. Now, this is what happens. Now, still, there's all been speculations, you know what I mean? You read the blogs and stuff like that. They said he told her to dance before he shoots. But then there's also been rumors that her people said that, you know, one of her friends she had a falling out with says that, hey, what he's saying is aligning what the truth is. Okay. Let's go to the next bar. Follow this. But them boys ain't clean enough. I see how they teaming up, watching, and I'm calculated. Gotta keep quiet. I can't jeopardize the outcome waiting. This is something that's very serious here that I wanted to say that. Now, when he says them boys ain't clean enough, meaning that I'm going to try to explain this to the best way of my ability. Meaning that you can't be wholly endowed trying to pin a case on somebody. You feel what I'm trying to say? You know what I mean? It ain't clean enough like this. You know what I mean? You got dirty laundry too. You know what I mean? And teaming up meaning that everybody's ganging up on it. You know what I mean? And he's sitting back watching how things are playing out, but he's being calculated. The smartest thing he has done has been keep quiet. And he still keep quiet because the references he's talking about are very vague, but they do give you some detail. But if a lot of people who's been arrested before, the smartest thing you can do is not talk about your case. You know what I mean? You can jeopardize it. You know what I mean? He's facing a felony case. If he gets convicted, that's 3 years. On top of that, him being a felony and him not being from the country, he can get deported and banned from the U.S. Next line. See certain niggas hating. Like, how these niggas hating? I done gave these people so much features, made these ends famous. This is a very telling sign right here. Tory was one of those people who have collaborated with so many different artists, and he is a very phenomenal singer and rapper. So, you know what I mean? If we're going to go stream for stream, and we check the streams that he has done for people, especially for people like Kehlani and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So, he, right now, just being in the industry, he's learning how it's so fake. Next bar. They was on the blog saying, I'm canceled from this entertainment. I was on that Spotify, like 30 million listeners. I'm fucking going crazy. So, your whole world is changing. You know what I mean? And, you know what I mean, hearing the news and the blogs and stuff like that, saying that get him out of here, he needs to disappear. And, you know what I mean, coming from the height of his career, yeah, he might not be known as big as maybe like a Young Thug or something like that, but hey, he has a lot of followers from all different places. You know what I mean? Now, next one it says, and my fans support me brazy. Everything I do is for you. I promise it. I'll be on my daily. So basically, he's just paying homage to people who still support him, especially the fans. Because the thing about it is, and for a lot of y'all who are not one-sided, you know what I mean, who still supports, who still fans, just like people who are still fans in R. Kelly, he hasn't been convicted, but he's been arrested. You know what I mean? And it's a bunch of people who are still fans of certain people who's caught in the limelight. Same thing with Harvey Weinstein. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? There's a lot of media guys who feel like, hey, you take him out, it's not going to be good for business. Okay? Next bar we go into, he says, I got nothing but love to spread, but these ends hate me. Hurt my heart to see them Twitter fingers come from Kehlani and Cash Page. But I flipped the switch. I'm gripping money at a fast pace. And they don't ask me for ish when it get real. That's my last favor. Can't cry now because I laugh later. This was a nice bar. I want y'all to let that sit in your head. This is another thing where you can't always say people are your friends. You know what I mean? Only people who's going to stick by you are your family. Especially if something as an accusation. You know what I mean? So it's so telling that this cancel culture can switch on you just like a click of a button, especially on a man. Women don't tend to get the blowback or the extremity that men do with just one accusation. And mind you, even when they find out the accusation is not true, his life is still over. He's not going to make the money he still can make. Okay. Girl, you had the nerve to write them statements on them affidavits, knowing I ain't do it, but I'm coming at my truest. Stating that she did make a statement. And you know what I mean? And especially in the court proceedings, you know what I mean? And I'm going to just make this clear. His case could be upgraded or downgraded. You know what I mean? There's at any given moment, you know what I mean? With statements and stuff like that. So, but still, she did make a statement. And she made plenty of statements. She went on IG Live and was telling everything what was going on. You know what I mean? I guess in this bar here, he was just shocked that she would even say anything. You know what I mean? And stuff like that, knowing that he did not do it. Now, trying to keep this ish 200 with you, meaning that he's trying to keep it real. Shorty, I can prove it, but them people in your ear, the true ones that I fear. Now, in this, he also makes reference, going down to the song, is that they've been having a complicated relationship from the get-go. They've been getting together. And this always happens when you're famous. People on both sides of the aisle are not going to like people dating. You feel me? And they're always going to try to self-sabotage. They really got you thinking Tory would do that to you? For real? Don't forget you was my bitch. Excuse my language. I held her down and kept it real. I would never paint no fake pictures of you just for some meals. And I thought that you were solid too. But look how you doing me. Look how you doing me. People trying to ruin me. And what even worse, I'm still thinking about you and me. How you going live my birthday with all my jewelry to trying to make some fool of me. But I love you so hard, I'm going to cool it, B. Because I'm cooling with Cuban, B. That was stupid me. Now, clearly you understand what he said this. Don't forget you was my girl when he said you be. I had it down and kept it real. And he said he would never paint no pictures because, you know, there was accusation that he was going on putting a smear campaign, but that wasn't him. You know, because he had been quiet. You know what I'm saying? And, you know what I mean? He said he thought that she would be very solid as far as just holding it down and being a team player and what's going down. But he was wondering, like, why is she doing this to him? You know what I mean? He's so surprised. Now, mind you, she went live on his birthday, and you know what I mean, the jewelry that she had on was his. But this is where I have a little issue with him now. He said he still got love for her and still willing to work it out. And he says he was cool and right with Cuban, B. That was the stupid me. Now, I don't know what reference you make Cuban. I don't know if he's talking about Cuban doll or if he's talking about a reference of another woman. But you know what I'm saying? Or maybe Cuban cigar. That's a little bit funny there. Now, let's go now. It says, somehow I'm still down to negotiate the unity. Now, this is where mental health is concerned for me. And everybody who's listening to this know this. Hurt people hurt people. You know what I'm saying? Most people who are hurt by people tend to go back with the people who hurt them. You know what I mean? Especially. If the person's doing the hurting, or the other person's doing the hurting on them. Now, he says, my heart is in some foolery. This shit just confusing me. I'm going through the phases, but I gotta stack that paper. And them real estate niggas hating. Took me off my application. But when they took that from me, they really took that from my baby. Like, what the F I'm gonna say to his old lady? What the F you mean my son don't need a house? My baby mama don't need safety? I ain't, even though I got the payment, the real estate ends still hate me because they're watching me all in the news, but I ain't charged with no cases. This is something that I mentioned in my other videos. Now, I had to take a sip of Kool-Aid. Well, in references, his heart is being a lover's fool, still confuses, going through a lot of different phases in his head, but he still has to be grounded and still make this money. You know what I mean? Now, as soon as this accusation happened, he had a bunch of things in where one was a real estate purchase, which they denied the application. Now, mind you, that real estate purchase was for his son and the child of his mother. So when they took that away, and I've always said this, when these accusations comes up, it doesn't hurt people. It doesn't hurt the person. It does hurt him, but it mainly hurt the people who's attached to him. You know what I mean? There's kids involved, their baby's mother's involved, and stuff like that. And you know what I mean? They have to be here having people ask him like, what's going on? Has he beat you and has this and that? You know what I mean? And he's losing everything here. And other people can just go on about their lives. Now, he also goes into the bar and states that even though he has the money to pay for the real estate, but they're watching the news. when you're in the public eye and you're a celebrity, you know what I mean, you've always been scrutinized and you're at a watchful high at 24 hours and 7 days a week. You know what I mean? You never can be a regular person like me or you and all the other people. Now, here's the next one. Say the owner say my case looking crazy. How the F that even makes sense? News time turned to past tense. All I want is straight cash. Ends say I lack sense. Star player, hearing lies coming from the back bench. Killer be killed. That's the season. I don't have friends. Lovely bar right here. Lovely bar. You know what I mean? People making references on his case, and he has yet to be charged for what they've been accusing him for. Only he has been arrested for was a concealed weapon. Then he's talking to the person, says, who owner of the real estate, says that his case is looking crazy. How's that? New times turns past tense. You feel me? All he says, he just wants to make money. People around him say he's lacking sense about money, but he's still, you know what I mean? He's a player hearing lies from the back bench. Mainly this, you know what I mean? That's a metaphor saying that by him being the talk of the town, everybody's lying on him. You know what I mean? Killer be killed. That's the reason why he has no friend. Stating how treacherous the game is, and it's the reason why he's never befriended, and he's going to keep not having friends. Okay? Here's the next one. Ends lying on the Cody. Ends saying, I'm deported, which is not true. He's been here ever since. He can't leave a court proceeding, no matter if you're from another state. You have to stay until the case is done. Oh, I'm 5'3", and saying I'm a shorty, but my little bit, I'm 5'7". Money on me, sidestepping. This is another bar where they said he you know, because you know he's you know, they said he was a real short person compared to Megan Thee Stallion, because she's huge, like 6 foot or something like that. You know what I mean? Like 6'3", 6'1". She's a very tall lady. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? This next bar says he's 5'7". You know what I mean? Saying that he's a little bit taller than that. You know what I mean? And his money is sidestepping. I don't know what that means, but and if I stand on my wallet, you can see my thighs in heaven. I like that. You know what I mean? This is another reference that he still got a lot of pocket money. You know what I mean? And his pockets are fat. One Umbrella Gang. That's his new record label. And for a lot of y'all to know, he just recently got his masters. We come back. Don't you try repping. Meaning that after this is done and he comes back, there's no need for a lot of y'all saying that y'all with him. Okay? 4, I let these ends breathe. I got to teach him a couple lessons. So he's going to use this particular situations to teach a lot of people how fake they are and them pointing their nose in his business. Got to see a couple questions. How the F you get shot in your foot and don't hit no bones and tendons? Lovely bar. Lovely bar right here. Lovely bar. I'm going to highlight that. I need the people in the comment sections who or firearm instructors and stuff like that, who, especially even from a distance, pointing the gun like he pointed. Bullets travel. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to try to do a reenactment or say that I was there, but you know what I mean? Like, she should have staples done. She should have iron rods in her foot or something like that. You know what I mean? Next bar right here. How the F your team is trying to paint me as some whole menace. Smear campaign. You know what I mean? And the sad thing about it is, me personally, I went on the internet to try to find, he has been arrested before, but for like street dude stuff. But I haven't found anything that alluding to domestic violence or him popping a cap in anybody. I haven't found that. Next one. This is the next thing I talk about in my older videos. He stated that I just lost like 10. I just lost like 10 million just because this is cold business. But I got like 10 million followers that's going to roll with me. Fans support me because they know my heart. So I don't give a damn if Shorty know Jigga. In the midst of this, rappers, entertainers always have other deals on the table. So as this one peculiar situation happened, and I know y'all might get on me for saying peculiar. It's a very serious situation. He lost a 10 million deal on the table. I know y'all gonna say that's good for him, but he hasn't been convicted yet. We're just going by hearsay of what somebody's saying. I know when we start to value and hold people's words of everything, and we don't fact check, you know what I mean, because we say that, you know what I mean, and when we find out that person lies, and that person do get exonerated, his life is still over. You know, his life is still over. Now, the next bar I really like about this, because I want to mention my brother Boosie. This person said he doesn't give a damn if Shorty knows Jigga. A lot of people, Jigga has been this mythical figure in hip hop as him being the all-seeing eye, and he runs everything. There's certain places people do not care. Like down south, Boosie mentioned this, and I'm gonna state this and confirm that. Jigga's nobody down south to us. You know what I mean? Boosie is like God here, 8 Ball and MJG. We talking about places like Texas, Mississippi, Arkansas, Georgia, Virginia, Maryland, DC. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? He has the music game unlocked, but that doesn't mean he speaks for everybody. So not everybody is going to feel his power or his reign. Now, the next thing he says that I want to beat the block, meaning that he want to go back to the streets. Eeny, meeny, miny in these streets. And my Nina Cock saying that he want to stay strapped. Ends keep playing with me. You can frame me, but I'm going to reach the top. No matter what you do, how much the accusation keeps pounding, you can keep accusing him, he's still going to prevail and reach the top. I will never put you in danger, saying, Megan, I will never hurt you or put you in danger. And if I did, you would have said that when you seen the cops, which is a true statement. Why didn't she tell the cops that he shot him? You know what I mean? She said she was just trying to keep it real. But, and another thing I mentioned too, if she was shot, like they say she took her to the hospital, his charges would have been upgraded. Lamborghini braids, and they coming on the floor. If hit the fan when I pull up out the door, I will never fall out with ends over hoes. Hey, money over fallouts. My nigga, that's the code. Now, this is a statement that he's referencing people in the industry. You know what I mean? He will never fall it, and that's the code. So a lot of people who were mentioning him, you know what I mean, he had these people numbers, he was friends with him, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They have fallen out with him because of this. Sanatory bands, when I pull up the coast. Better have my bands when I pull up to the door. Ends can't believe I don't pull up in the ghost. I don't even want to F with y'all no more. G. A lot of people still can't believe that he, even though this situation has hit him roughly, that he's still prevailing, still has money. You know what I mean? A ghost is referencing as a phantom ghost. You know what I mean? Which is very expensive cars, over 300,000. Now, and you know what I mean? And he also stated in his last line where he said he's not going to deal with none of y'all no more. You know what I mean? It's over this. After this situation is over. Now we're getting to the end of the bar. I know this is, thank y'all for bearing with me. He said, I got bad bitches trying to have an orgy. Keep umbrellas for days. It's getting stormy. I put a Henny for my nin that's before me. He said he has a lot of pretty women, you know what I mean, that's still having sex with him, group sex. This is another bar here. Keep umbrellas for storming, meaning that in a situation when it rains, it pours. He still has protection over him to cover him from his situation. He says, and this is paying homage to the guys who died before him. You know, his clothes look very nice. You got a seat out by the floor seats. That could be basketball. He's referencing a basketball. She tatted me all on her face because she adored me. A fan that probably got a face tat of him. They talking petty about me, but they looking corny. Everybody, and it's crazy to say this, everybody who always make negative references do look very funny out here. Why would you speak on that man? He's going through okay. Keep your mouth shut and wait till this thing is done. I had to fight for mine. And you were sworn in. You know what I mean? This sounds like a reference to like a gang reference or a mentha, like mafia. You know what I mean? Meaning that you're sworn into this thing of ours. And God bless me when I wake up every morning. And that's what I say. God bless when I wake up every morning. And that's what he said. Now, mind you, if this was a battle rap, he just ethered her on his first track. Money over Fallouts, as we just went over this, you know what I mean? The bars here were crazy, and we referenced everything. So he did go in definitely in this situation. And look at the comments here. This man dissing. I try so hard not to like this but he, this nigga, man, man, it's fire. You know what I mean? This thing is fire. So tell me what you think. Like and subscribe. Share this video. And I hope you like the lyric breakdown. This is Rap Palette out. We love y'all.